Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Marie, and on this channel I'm going to be talking about fashion, beauty, lifestyle, wellness with a little bit of interiors, but more on a conscious, sustainable, clean living kind of vibe. I'm 55 years old and I've been postmenopausal for a couple of years now, so I'm going to be sharing tips also along the way on how you can kind of ride the roller coaster of menopause. So I'm going to kick things off with a video on how I do a clean beauty look, makeup look, using all clean products, toxin free, because if you didn't know, all the toxins that are in these beauty products can really do damage to your endocrine system, which is your system that regulates your hormones: estrogen, progesterone, cortisol, testosterone, and yes, thyroid. So I want to show you that you can still get a great result using cleaner options. So let's begin. Okay, so I'm going to try to be looking in the camera but also looking in the mirror as I do my makeup. So the first thing I do is use a lip moisturizer. The one that I have here is by Biosense. So they're squalane and vegan lip balm. So we want to make sure that the lips are nice and primed, so by the time you're ready to put your lip color on, they're going to be nice and prepped and ready to go. Now, next step is my primer. I've been using this Honest Beauty one for quite a while. This is the Everything Primer Glow and 2HA. You can use it on its own for kind of like a little bit of a glow, but I like to use it just a little bit to kind of a lot, but to prep my skin. Got a little bit of sheen, so just a little bit dab. And y'all, please excuse the setup. You can't see the setup, but the balancing act that is going on. But you gotta do what you gotta do. Just start, use what you have. So we're just going to put that all over. I do dab a little bit on my eyes because I don't have an eye primer as yet. I haven't found a clean one that I like. So I just do a little bit underneath and on the eyelids as well. And that is primer done. Now next up, because it is hot out and getting hotter out here in Toronto, I've gone back to using my NYX, Bear With Me Serum Concealer. Now it is really just a concealer, but I use it all over my face just because it gives me nice enough coverage, nothing too heavy, and just conceals what I needed to conceal. So I'm going to just go in with this brush, my Japanese, and just apply the concealer. I got a little bit on my cheeks, and then I just blend it in. It's nice and lightweight. This color is Camel, and I discovered this a couple of years ago, I think. But yes, it gives just a nice amount of coverage. Now, I will say that, you know, there are products out there that are 100% clean, EWG verified, and some that, you know, have a low rating as far as their harm or toxicity level is concerned. If it's a 1 or a 2 rating, I'm good with that. I'm comfortable with that. So I've just put this on all over, forehead and everything. My forehead tends to be a little bit darker here and along the jawline, and then I'm lighter in the cheek area. So that's it for just a nice quick bit of coverage. Next up, I'm going to go in with my, yes, we're using a little bit of extra concealer just for a little extra brightening. I'm using the Beauty Counter concealer. Now, Beauty Counter is on a bit of a hiatus right now as they do some restructuring, but I still have the products, and these guys are the OG of clean beauty. So I'm just going under my eye just to brighten it up. I do a little bit like here, not go crazy at all. And that's kind of how I start with my concealer. And I let that kind of sit and do its thing, melt in, warm up on my skin a little bit, makes it easier for blending. Next up, I'm also going to add on my bronzer or contour. This is by a brand called Attitude. This is their Oceanly line, which is their cosmetics line. They're Canadian based out of Montreal. and everything that they do is clean as well. So I'm just gonna dab a little bit on my forehead, let that kind of warm up. Hit the cheekbones a little bit on both sides. I like to do down the side of the nose, like that, and let that warm up a little bit again to make it easier for blending. This color is called Ebony. They have like a full range of like foundations, like kind of like tinted moisturizers. They have skincare, hair care, cleaning products, all the clean things. Now, I'm gonna blend out my concealer, and I'm using this brush by Sephora. This is a concealer brush. It is number 57. So I just gotta work my way down the middle of the nose, and then blend out under eye. If I feel I've got a little too much product, I'll just go on my eyelid. This will kind of sort of act like a primer, spread out the product a little bit more, and just kind of give me a little bit of extra brightness under the eye. So again, blend out the other side. I will say I don't know if I'm totally in love with this brush. I think I might need something a little bit thicker and maybe angled as well, but it's working for now. We already bought it, we're using it. So yes, just blending it out. Your makeup shouldn't have to take forever and a day to do. And so now I have a little bit more brightness underneath there. Now what I'm going to do is set that with some powder. I'm using the one from Milk. I think this is their dark maybe, but it is talc free. So just note to self, when you're looking for any powder based products, loose powder, setting powder, eyeshadow, blush, anything powder based, you want to look for talc free. Y'all remember the Johnson & Johnson's talc scandal back in the day? You want to be using talc free powder, anything. So I'm using my little triangle sponge. I like to just dump a little bit in the lid, and then I'm going to powder on my eyelid to kind of just set the concealer there, and then just before I powder underneath my eyes, I like to just go in and smooth out. Make sure there's nothing in the creases, or else you're going to end up with a little bit of cakey kind of, concealer. And I just gently powder it out. Same thing with the other eye, making sure it's all clear, nothing in the creases, and then powder. I don't really bake my powder as much. Sometimes we don't have time for that. I'm all about simplicity, but still, giving it a look. And that is concealer and powder done. Now next up, we're going to do brows. With my brows are everything to me. I can have on good brows and not enough on no other makeup, and I'm good. So for my brows, I'm using the Sephora. Hold please. This little guy here decided to fall off the window ledge. I'm using the Sephora micro brow pencil. This is in the color Chocolate. This one also has a spoolie brush on the end, which is perfect. 2 in 1 is always good. That's one less tool that you have to carry when you're traveling. So I like to brush up my brows. Now, one thing about menopause, you're going to lose some hair in the places you don't want to lose hair, like on top of your head, your eyebrows, parts of your legs. That's all hormonal stuff. So I use my castor oil at night on my brows and lashes. This brow here is really coming in and doing some stuff here. Looking a little wild. And then I'm gonna just go in. I kind of like draw gently because I don't like my brows dark, even though my hairs are kind of dark with blonde hairs in there. I don't know why blonde hairs are in my eyebrows, but they are. And then I just kind of like brush up. You want your brows to look as natural as possible. And they should be sisters, not twins. They should not look like commons either. You know, you get the little point here and then it's thin, thin, thin here. We want to have a nice natural arch. And yes, this is probably the longest part of my makeup routine, but we gotta have them on. So I keep using the castor oil in hopes that they'll grow in some more, so I won't have to spend as much time on this. But until then, we gotta fill them in. So we can see the difference with one. I'm gonna clean it up, but I like to brush out the color. I mean, the nice thing about filling in your brows is you can create whatever shape you want. You can play with shape. So I like that. Back in the day, I used to tint my brows. Well, I used to dye them dark with a Bigen. Dye them black. I don't know what I was thinking. This was back in the late 80s. And then I went the opposite, like in the 90s, and was bleaching them with Jolene. But now we stop all that chemical foolishness and don't do that anymore. So again, brushing them up. Boy, these brows are looking bushy. Give yourself some patience. Okay, time to clean up the brows. I usually take a little bit of concealer gently on this little flat angled brush. It's not really angled actually, it's just a square top. And I just go underneath. Just to make them look like they should. Just makes them look a little neater. Because look, when you're drawing in your eyebrows, you're not going to get them perfect. And again, this is how you can create whatever shape that you want. A little bit too much concealer on this side here. So I'm just going to take this beauty blender that is dry. I don't use a wet beauty blender. Okay. Again, just brush out the colors. Sorry, I got my bathrobe on. Totally sweating. And that's basically how I do my brows. So a little, if you need to correct anything, that's brows. Now that my face is nice and hot, we are going to blend out the contour. And actually, this is what I use the beauty blender for. Everybody does their makeup in different order. I think a lot of it depends on how much time you have. And then I'm actually using it to blend out this bronzer or contour as well. Both sides, again, it's dry. And then I'm using this old MAC brush. I've had my MAC brushes from the days I used to work at MAC Cosmetics from 1996 to 1998 in Vancouver, and I still have all of my MAC brushes. So we're just blending out the contour a little bit. Don't go crazy with the contour, especially the nose contour, but just a little bit. Just blending that out a little bit more. You see here, nice and subtle. And now I'm going to use this spritz. Now this is by Ilia. This is a 3-in-1. So this is a blue light blocker. If you sit in front of the computer all day, or you're on your phone all day, or in front of an LED light, this is a blue light blocker. It's also like a makeup prep and also a setting spray as well. So 3-in-1. And also to help you cool down when you're feeling a little hot. So I'm gonna just let that sit in. I have a fan. Oh, I do. Next up, we're going to do eyeshadow. Now today I'm keeping it simple, and this is broke as hell, but this is by Mineral Fusion, another clean beauty brand. I have to be careful when I open it. I'm going to be using this kind of deep rust color. And for the brush, I'm going to use, my brush is going missing, so I'm going to just use this kind of fluffy brush and just go right into the crease. Now remember, the place where you deposit or put your brush first, that's where it's going to deposit the most amount of color. So just be careful. Just do a little bit at a time. You can always add more. It's easier to add more than it is to take away. I just do circular motions myself, but everyone's eye shape is different. So as long as you know the contours of your face, your eyes, then you'll be able to apply it accordingly. And just remember to blend out. No harsh lines. Blending is key. And that is just one color that I'm using. I'm not going heavy crazy today. But we do like a little action on the lid. So I'm going to just take this without this falling out here. It's just a really light color with a little bit of shimmer. And I'm going to just dab it right on the center of my eye, just for a little pop. Brighten things up a little bit more. And then I'm going to take what I call a pencil brush, an old MAC brush, use the same light color, and just use it right in the corner of my eye. Again, to brighten the eye. I'm going to even take it a little bit along the lash line. Just for a little bit of brightness. Okay. I hope the lighting is okay, but we'll just try to fix it in editing. I don't usually wear liner that much, so I'm gonna just go ahead with mascara. Again, I'm using the Mineral Fusion extended length mascara. This has been my go-to mascara for at least a year now. I have this one, and then I have the volume one, but I find this one is the jam. It works for me. I don't curl my lashes, and I stopped wearing false lashes because I'm just not comfortable with the idea of putting that glue near my eyes. I just don't think that's healthy. So, and I also think if you're constantly wearing lashes over time, you could lose lashes, and we need all the lashes, including the blonde ones that we can get. So usually with my mascara, I go on the top first This is a good way to clear up any lash, or not lash, but any powder fallout that you might have had. And then we go up. And because I've been using the castor oil on my lashes for a while, not always 100% consistent, but you know, we try. I feel like it is really, you know, I feel like I'm seeing a difference. So if I can grow my lashes naturally, we're gonna do it. The less toxins, the better. Mitigate those menopause symptoms. Let's not destroy our hormones here. So that is one side with lashes. Mascara, you know what I mean. And then I'm gonna just do the other side. Now remember, with mascara, you only want to keep it for about 3 months. But you'll know when it's time to replace it because it'll start to get dry. And when it starts to get dry, make sure you're not pumping the wand in and out of the tube, so you're not introducing any bacteria into it. I just do like a little wiggly and try to make sure that it's not clumpy. And I let the first coat dry. So that is one coat done. And now I'm going to add a little cheek color, a little, you know, brightness, rosiness. So we're going in with the Mineral Fusion. We're going to use this color here. And I'm using this brush. It is a blush brush. I don't know where I found it, but it's kind of like, it's not poofy. Because it has a smaller brush head, I feel like it allows me to strategically place the color. So I just do a little dab. Oh, and by the way, don't blow on your brushes. If you got a little extra product on it, tap it off or wipe it off on like a Kleenex or something, but don't blow on your brushes. Unless your body is 100% clean, try not to do that. All right, so we have a little bit of color here on the cheeks, and that's it. Now I'm going to go ahead and apply a second coat of mascara, just to get a little extra thickness, length. The only downfall about wearing mascara for me personally is this is how I have lines on my forehead, because when I'm doing that, I'm always raising my eyebrows, and now I have lines. The things we do for beauty. I'm going underneath a little bit, and I just kind of like dab it. I don't go crazy. Just for a little under eye definition. Blob there. I think you're good. Now, I'm going to apply a little bit of highlighter. I'm using Beauty Counter's Cheeky Clean highlighter. What I love about this one is it's refillable. So you can use it for the highlighter or the blush. You know, hopefully when they come back in the fall, you know, we'll be up and running and good. This color, I forget what it's called, but it gives it a nice kind of gold glow. And for this one, I'm simply going to just use my fingertip. I like to go down the middle of my nose, put a little bit of highlight there. We don't go crazy on the tip of our nose. I also want to apply some to my Cupid's bow. And tops of the chin. Just for a little glow when the sun hits your face. You're seeing that there a little bit? Super. Okay, now we are on to lips. So for lips, I'm using the RMS Beauty Nude Lip Pencil. Now what I love about this is not only do you get the product, but on the other end, you get a lip brush. Now, I've never seen that before. And also you get a sharpener with it as well. So bonus deals, we like that. So I'm just gonna go ahead and line my lip. Now, I'm not one to overdraw my lips. I think my lips are full enough as they are. I'm grateful that they've still maintained their plumpness. So I'm just gonna line it. Just for some definition. I'm gonna be wearing like a neutral color. Lord, looks like we need to do a lip wax up in here too. Make sure you get right in the corners. When you open your mouth and talk, you want to make sure that your lip pencil is complete. There's no gaps. And then I kind of like feather. Feather it in. Oh, my light went out. Must be dead. Okay, now I'm going to use this Beauty Counter lip gloss. Which one is this? Oh my gosh, I need glasses, cannot see. Brulee, I think it's called. It's pretty much a nudie color. Sheer. For a natural look. And that is that. The light is doing funny things. And then what I've been doing lately is using this, this is a matte lip color. The brand is called Modit, or it's by Johnny Concert. And they make these great matte lip colors. This is like a nude, so I'm just gonna apply a little in the center. And let that dry down. And this is the time where we're at the end. If you need to do any cleanups, what I forgot to put on was my brow gel. Again, the same color as the pencil, chocolate from Sephora, just to kind of set it. I think next time though I'm going to buy a clear one. I don't know why I didn't buy a clear one in the first place, but adds just a little bit of color, but then just sets your brow hair in place. So I think that's it. So let me give you some proper light. Oh, please. All right, y'all, so I am back. We have ditched the robe and the head tie, and this is the final look. Keep in mind, I used non-toxic, low-toxic beauty products because we are trying to keep our health and our hormones in check. I will link whatever I can below. Some of the products, like the Beauty Counter ones in particular. Beauty Counter's on a hiatus, and yeah, can't buy anything from them, but I will link what I can. So yeah, this is just a simple makeup daytime look. For some people, it might be a nighttime look, but this is it. You can make the swap to Safer Beauty and still get a nice result. So that's all I have for you today in this video. Drop a comment below and let me know, are you in the process of switching to Safer Beauty products, or are you still holding on to your holy grail goodies that you've lived with for years, and even though they're not maybe the healthiest, you're still holding on to them. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, would really appreciate it. And I shall see you in the next one.